Hello. Welcome to this new video. This time we're going to go over the man-in-the-middle attack using NTLM Relay to capture the hashes on a remote server. And all this is going to take place over SMB. So let me show you what I have here. I have a Windows 11 computer and I have a Windows server, which is going to be my target, right? So I have the client, the targets, and I'm going to have my Ubuntu computer running NTLM Relay utility on it. So ideally what's going to happen is that the Windows 11 computer is going to connect to the Windows Server computer. That's a common thing happening in networks all over. For this attack, I have already pre-configured and set everything up for this to work, meaning that I'm not going to be talking about the social engineering. How do I get the Windows 11 computer to connect to the Ubuntu computer thinking that it's connecting to the Windows server? And I'm not going to be running other tools that could do something like that, like Responder, that they're going to be able to listen to any requests going out and impersonate that remote computer. I'm not going to be talking about that. We're just going to concentrate on how NTLM Relay works. We're going to be talking about things that you could do to prevent this type of attacks, which is the most important thing. So what we're going to be doing, as I mentioned before, is that I am going to connect my Windows 11 computer to the Ubuntu computer, again, thinking that I'm connecting to the server. NTLM Relay is going to capture the MTLM hash, and it's going to send that information over to the Windows server, and any response from the Windows server is going to go through NTLM Relay, then it's going to go back to the client. So the goal of this exercise is to capture the hashes from the Windows server. Now, in order for this to work, as I mentioned to you earlier, a lot of things need to fall into place. And for this exercise, for this lab, I already configured that, meaning that the user that is connecting to the quote unquote Windows server is an administrator on the server, right? That's something you have to keep in mind, because if the user is not an admin, I'm not going to be able to dump the hashes. And the other thing is that I believe that I disabled user account control on the server to for this to be successful. So those are things that you need to keep in mind. Sometimes people think that hacking, you only run a tool and things are going to happen automatically. That's not the way it works. Obviously, if you're working or if when attackers are doing this in environments that are outdated, then they're going to have a much better chance of succeeding because many of these configurations are not going to be in place. So let's go over the commands and what we're doing so you'll see it in action in case you get lost with my explanation. So I'm going to get my Ubuntu computer running. So let me log in. So this is my Ubuntu computer. I'm going to be running NTLM Relay from here. And as you could see, if you remember from the other videos, NTLM Relay is one of the many tools from Impacket Labs. I configure this in a virtual environment to avoid the nonsenses of compatibility issues and package issues and things like that. So you should consider that as well. So I'm going to be running the command sudo path. Make sure that you look into the NTLM relay that is in the virtual environment. My target, and the target is where I'm going to be sending or relaying those requests that are coming to me as an attacker. Where do I send those to? I'm going to be sending those when I'm using SMB to 192.168.170.27, which is the remote server that the client is trying to connect to. And I am going to be exploiting or using SMB2 support. And for this, we have to make sure that SMB signing is not enabled, because if it's enabled, it's not going to work. So that's one of the things you have to keep in mind, right? To protect against this type of attacks. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit enter. And what's going on here? Okay, so it is loaded, and remember, these are the other protocols that are being supported, but in this case, I am using SMB. So I am gonna bring my Windows computer over here, and I'm going to initiate a connection to my attacker computer. Remember, in this case, I am leaving out the social engineering aspect, right? So I'm just going to connect to the attacker computer uh, for demonstration purposes. Oh, what happened here? Did it connect? Oh, all right. So I typed the information and it's already connecting. So look at this right here. So it is going through the process of getting the hashes, and as you could see here, let me highlight this. It is dumping the hashes from the server on this computer. So if I bring over my Windows server, let me bring it over here just for demonstration purposes. You're gonna see the same accounts: admin, administrator, and user right here. So I have that information now. Remember, and I have to reiterate this one more time. This is successful because of many things. And one of the things that I mentioned before is that the user that I have here logged into this computer has admin privileges on the server, right? So that's something that you have to keep in mind. Don't get fooled thinking that if you just run this command and the things are secure properly, things are going to work. It's not going to be like that. So I have this information and I dump the hashes, and you're saying, okay, that's great. You dump the hashes, but how good is it? Now you need to crack the hashes, and that may take like hours or days, or maybe they're never gonna get cracked. Well, you don't have to crack them to connect over many different protocols, right? You have the hashes already. What you need to do is send the hashes with the username, and you're gonna be able to connect to the remote computer. So for that, you can use another tool. You can use psexec. Let me just copy the command here to obtain a shell on the remote server. So we have the username that we know, right? The username is user1, and I know that that user has administrative privileges. And this is the hash, not the password. So I want to see if I'm able to connect to the remote computer and get a remote shell. So I'm going to hit enter. Let me just come here and hit enter. I have to, okay. And that is doing its magic. And as you could see here, it says 2016 Microsoft Corporation Windows Server right here. So I am in the Windows server because I was able to get as you could see, this is the IP address. But if I come to my Ubuntu computer, this is my Ubuntu computer 21. Um, as you could see, this was successful because the environment was conducive to it. If you want to prevent this type of attacks, there are many different things that you could do. Number one, if you are in an organization, in a company, obviously you need to have some type of EDR or network monitoring tool that is going to be able to alert you if something like this happens, and it's going to be able to stop and isolate. Something like network access control. Then you have to start looking deeper into it, right? Maybe you want to do some type of layer 2 security, 802.1x, to prevent any unauthorized person from connecting to your network and potentially running this type of attacks. Then if and a computer is authorized to connect to your network and they're going to try to run this, you have to make sure that you prevent that from running things like this. So make sure you have EDR, you have a proper antivirus, that you have the proper security controls in place, that you have SMB2 signing enabled. Oh gosh, to prevent these type of things. And also maybe think about not using administrative accounts to do day-to-day tasks. So there are many different things that you could do to prevent this type of attacks. And hopefully now that you see how simple it is for anybody to run this, you're going to start thinking about, okay, what can you do to protect yourself and protect the organization against this type of attacks? Thank you for watching this video. If you found this information useful, all I ask you to do is to click on the like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and stay tuned for future videos. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.